Us artists may get a little mad when we hear the phrase AI tools.
I'm not mad.
Really?
No. I'm serious!
But hold on for a second. There are ways for artists to take advantage of AI tools like ChatGPT, a chatbot by OpenAI. What you have to do first is go to Google, navigate to a reliable search engine, search up ChatGPT, click on the first result, and make an account. Once you've done that, you should be taken to a page that looks like this. The cool thing about ChatGPT is that we can prompt it to generate a consolidated response to just about any query that we type in this text field right here. We can get more accurate and beneficial responses based on how we structure our queries. Now, with this in mind, we can use ChatGPT to create things like an art study plan. I think this is especially useful for beginner artists who have absolutely no idea what they want to study and or how to study art fundamentals, or for more intermediate artists who may not know what to study next in their journey to get good. Take this prompt for example. I'm a complete beginner when it comes to drawing. Give me a year-long art study plan to help me become a character concept artist at Riot Games. I can dedicate 4 hours a day to studying. Please provide links to videos for each subject. Now notice how specific I am with this query here. I mentioned I'm a complete beginner. I want a year-long study plan. I mentioned how much time I can dedicate per day, and I also mentioned what kind of resources I want to use. From there, ChatGPT was able to generate an art study plan that separates the subjects I need to study on a month-by-month basis, as well as links to some useful YouTube art channels. So using this knowledge, I recommend you try out different prompts, experiment, and see if you can get some things that cater to your specific needs. Have you ever felt stuck on a particular art subject? Have you ever felt unsure when to move on to the next subject? Do you even know what that subject is? Well, you can use AI as like your own personal coach, and no, not that AI, he doesn't even show up for practice. What I mean by using AI, or ChatGPT in this case, as a coach is by asking it for some useful tips and tricks if you get stuck during your art journey. So for example right here, I'm telling ChatGPT I want to become a character concept artist. You know, I want to be with the big boys. I let them know I've been practicing gesture drawing for about 2 weeks now, and I want to know what I should study next. And I actually return some topics that are worthwhile jumping into right after studying gesture. Now, as a disclaimer, if you decide to use ChatGPT this way, I recommend coupling the responses with additional advice from more experienced artists. Because sometimes ChatGPT can recommend good art fundamentals to study all day, but it may not give you the topics you need to study in a sequential manner. For example, I would study proportion and figure drawing before studying anatomy, because you need to know how to draw a solid foundation before you start adding anatomy all willy-nilly. Now, I understand, not everyone has the connections that I do. You may not have Picasso on speed dial. So joining Discord art servers where other artists are willing to help you can be a pretty viable option. So just keep in mind AI needs a bit more practice in this department.
But we talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice? We're talking about practice, man.
Okay, there's this phenomena out there which is called art block, which basically means you're not motivated to draw and or you don't know what to draw. Well, I discovered that you can use ChatGPT to get the creative juices flowing. So check this out. I told it to give me a detailed character design prompt for a male character with a futuristic theme. And as you can see here, it's able to give me a pretty detailed starting point. You can also use ChatGPT as sort of like a job simulator. For example, you can ask it to give you the task of creating an illustration for a certain character. You can also ask it to give you some things that you should include in the illustration like a real supervisor would do on the job. So let's say I'm at Riot Games and I'm working on League of Legends, God forbid, and I tell ChatGPT to act as a lead splash illustrator that's giving me the job of illustrating Kiana.
Who?
It's a character in the game. Yes, I used to be a nerd back in the day, but I'm cool now. And based on this prompt, it literally acts like it's a lead splash illustrator with this whole greetings thing, but that's kind of irrelevant. But the part that's actually cool is it gives me a list of things to include in the illustration. It talks about Kiana's, like, you know, personality, her skills, and everything like that. It basically gives me some good suggestions on what to include in the illustration in order to communicate to the viewer what Kiana is really all about and to really tell her story within the picture. Speaking of generating ideas, I came up with the idea to redesign some classic Cartoon Network characters to practice my art skills. So if you're interested in that, feel free to check out the video here.